Get that mask. Go for it.
So welcome back, guys, to Coffee Talk with Ryan and Dan. And just as a reminder of what this is all about, the idea is that there's a lot of information out there and we want to distill it down into what's really useful and what you can kind of throw away and put in the trash. So we kind of have like this kind of quick chat, although we don't actually have any coffee, so that's good job.
We had lots of coffee.
Yeah, we already had coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, we have a chat about what the latest research is showing and kind of give you guys the useful information that can actually help, as opposed to just Googling something and seeing all this kind of crazy stuff. So on today's little kind of episode, we're going to talk about music and how music can kind of influence you. So Ryan, do you want to take us through what we're going through today?
Sure. So this week we looked at all the different research reviews, and we thought this was probably the most recent one that has actually just come out. So hot off the press, this one actually looks at, can music make mindful eating easier? So this is a really cool one, and really quite, I would say, relevant to what we do here at Precision Fitness, but also I think quite relevant to people in Hong Kong.
Yeah, 100%.
More so than maybe other places, I would say. And so one of the things that we encourage people to do at Precision Fitness is to eat mindfully. We do that with a number of skills, or a number of practices. One being eat slowly, and then one being practicing maybe this higher level habit of eating to 80%. And the reason behind that is usually when you're eating more mindfully, you're eating more and you're being more present with your food. Not only are you able to taste your food more, but you're also going to generally eat less, because it takes around 20 minutes for the brain to actually get the signal from the body that it's actually full or it's satiated. So this is a really cool study because it actually looked at what you hear while you eat can actually impact how fast you eat. And so according to this new research that was published in Appetite, one of the actual prestigious journals here, they looked at a number of test subjects here that I think it was like 355 people in this study. And this is actually one of the best types of studies to be a part of, because there was like nothing intravenous that was being done. There was no blood work that was being done. There was no CAT scans, no imaging. So all you had to do was eat chocolate. That's it. Just eat chocolate. I mean, I want to be a part of this study.
Yeah, we should do that here.
Yeah. Maybe we will actually. So eat chocolate and then rate it for taste, crunchiness, and creaminess. So the chocolate they used was the good stuff. They used the 70% dark chocolate. And while these participants were eating chocolate, they were actually instructed to wear noise-canceling headphones, okay? So they wouldn't be distracted by the other test subjects. But the whole thing is that during this study, they played with different types of music. So they played with fast music, they played with slow music, and then there were other times where they, wait for it, there was no music. It was silent. And so the scientists in the study actually used a timer, and they tracked the participants' eating time during the segment, during the different segments of music. And what they actually found were two things. They found that people ate faster when they listened to music with a fast tempo. Specifically, the tempo was 145 beats per minute. 145 beats per minute. That's like being in an electronic nightclub, right? Like an electric. Yeah. And the second thing they found was that people ate slower when they listened to music with a slow tempo. And the tempo with this was 100 beats less. So it's 45 beats per minute. I don't know, what would you say is 40? You're the one that does guitar and
put me on the spot, dude. I would assume it's like very slow classical kind of music you listen to, like really slow coffee kind of music maybe.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And so, interestingly enough, actually, and again, the third type, which was no music, I guess, silence, they actually found that even any type of music, actually, even the real up-tempo, real fast stuff, actually encouraged people to eat slower compared to when they ate in silence. Okay, so let me say that again. If you were eating in silence, you still ate faster than you would if you actually ate with faster music or more up-tempo music. I think I said that right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's a really interesting one. Now, just a real quick sidebar. When we go back to the first one about people ate faster when they listened to music with a fast tempo, I think if your goal is to put on muscle, that's actually a really good strategy. So what are like some types of music you would think that are like really fast, other than electronic music?
I mean, you could do like indie rock, fast-paced rock, heavy metal. You go like there's a lot of options, like heavy techno, super fast techno, drum and bass. Loads of options there.
Yeah. So I think if you need to eat and get your food in, you need to get as much raw material in as possible in a short period of time.
Slam some heavy metal.
Slam some heavy metal music.
Get into it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is a pretty cool study, and I think and there's a lot to look at here, but I think the big takeaways for us were, one, how we feel when we eat matters. And as coaches, we when we're working with a new client, we're looking at environment. Environment is a huge player in how we eat, what we eat, and when we eat. And so I think if you're eating fast, look at your environment, but also examine like what is going on around you. Are you eating on the go? Are you eating with fast eaters? Now, I don't know about you. Are you a fast eater?
I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty quick. Yeah.
So I'm a fast eater.
Yeah.
That's probably because we just hang out.
We shouldn't hang out. Yeah.
We shouldn't be eating together.
Eat together.
Yeah. So there was a study that was done a long time ago that looked at like setting the anchor, and it was basically saying like, if you're the first person at the table, and you can run this experiment the next time you're out with people, socially distanced, of course, eat fast. But also order something healthy, and you'll actually find that people will follow suit. So they will eat fast, and they will also order something more healthy on the spectrum. But the opposite is also true. You order something less healthy, it gives sort of people this sort of underlying moral license to order something less healthy. But then they'll also eat slower if you tend to eat slower as well. So again, who you're with, how they behave is a really big factor as well. But again, I think that the big study finding here was, what people feel while they eat is important. So if you are struggling with changing your body or losing weight or just shifting body composition, you may be more likely to succeed if you take steps to feel more relaxed during eating. The second big takeaway is that, yes, while maybe silence is not for everybody, as we've seen in this, it may cause you to eat faster, music is also not for everybody. So, experiment with it. I don't know about you, but I generally cook with music. Do you do the same thing when you're cooking at home?
So generally when I cook at home, I'll have music on.
Yeah.
But I tend to play quite like almost like acoustic rocky stuff when I have it. So it is slower, but it's not fast. It's kind of that in between.
We should try the opposite tonight.
Yes, I like that idea. Let's do that.
Yeah. And then send pictures into the group of what it looks like.
What does it look like?
It's going to be a disaster.
A mess.
Both of our meals are going to be a disaster. Yeah.
I dropped the omelet on the floor.
Exactly. Jasper ate it. And the last thing I think the big takeaway is that we encourage you and ourselves, of course, to really tune in to when you're eating. What is going on around you? This is not to say go and just start putting on Enya or some slow classical music tonight. But if you are cooking with music on it tends to be fast, do the opposite and see what happens. Put on some slow tempo music and see how that affects and how you feel when you're eating. So that's the study.
Yeah.
Anything?
I think it was cool. So when Ryan mentioned he was bringing this one up, I had a thought about it, and I'm flicking through the study myself as well, and I thought it was really weird because we already do this with workouts.
Yeah.
You go on Spotify and there's literally 155 beats per minute workout. It's already there.
Yeah,
and
the
research with about your heart rate and music is it's so well done. It's all over the place. And it's why have we not applied this to any, when we go for a spa, what do we do? It's really chilled music.
Yeah, it's true.
So why have we not applied this to eating? And I was kind of that feels like that's a really smart thing we should have been doing already. I think it's really interesting that we've applied this to so many other things, but we haven't applied it to eating. And that could be pretty cool to play with. I also was wondering, and I want to get your thought on this, so say music's not for you, right? Because music's not for everyone. But what if you, I don't know, so say for example, you're watching something. Do you think if you watch a slow-paced crime drama as opposed to an action adventure, the same thing would happen? Because a lot of people eat in front of TVs in Hong Kong, especially in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. Do you think the same kind of concept applies there?
I don't know. If it's a crime drama, it's a slow-paced crime drama. I guess it depends on maybe what's your baseline in terms of how anxious you are as a person, right? If your baseline is you're always at a 7 of anxiety, and then you're watching something that may be more provocative in a sense, I think that might push it in 8 or 9.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how slow it is. You might just be oh, I need to eat to feel better or get that baseline down. But yeah, that's actually a really good question. I would. That's where my head goes first.
Yeah.
What about you?
Because the reason, like, one of the things that made me think about it was like, okay, so music, let's hear, what do we hear? And what we see is important too, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to go cook in a dirty kitchen, right? Everyone's like, oh, everything's set up nice. And then I also thought about movies. When people go watch movies, like if you have popcorn, what do? You just throw it at your face, right? It doesn't even have to go in. You're just like, la, la, la. It goes like the people behind you, whatever it is, right? And so I'm like, oh,
What
so
cinema are you going to, man?
you should come. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, okay, well, if that like high action movie, you go through your popcorn,
Yeah.
is what you see going to do the same effect? That's what just brought it to mind.
Like, what are we talking? Like slow-paced crime drama? Like,
That's a good point.
What kind of like? We're not talking.
Okay.
What kind of movies are you thinking about?
Oh, I'm talking about I'm not talking about a movie, but there's a specific series on Netflix called Hinterland.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's
Hinterland?
a Welsh crime drama.
Okay.
It's the slowest.
Yeah.
Like even the acting is just like, wow. Like it's so that's really slow. It's really
Maybe
like, the
that's
music's
associated
really
with
dark.
silence for me then.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
that's gonna make me eat faster.
Yeah, so that's why I was curious
So I'm
about.
like, if they're not gonna speed this thing up, I'm gonna speed.
Yeah,
this thing
exactly,
up.
right?
Yeah.
So we've used music in our workouts, and we haven't applied it to eating, which is what this is like. Let's do that. Let's see, like you can get pretty cool results from the study, right?
Yep.
So then my mind just jumps to like, oh, maybe there's more of the things we haven't been doing, but we could do.
Yep. It's the new PF. It's the new PF 2.0. Right there, folks.
So just real quick, just to recap, can you just give us the kind of the three big takeaways of this study and what these folks, these members, these peeps can do at home to kind of maybe apply this?
Yep. So number one, how we feel when we eat matters. Okay. So again, look at environment. Environment is everything. Number two, music may not be for everybody. Okay. Even if you're generally cooking without music, and you notice that you're eating faster, maybe play with some music. Try experimenting with different types of music. And then the third one, just tune in. Tune into what is going on for you. Really examine, how maybe your meals change when you're in different environments, when you're on the go. Maybe in the city, like in Hong Kong, like we mentioned earlier, or when you're eating with others, or when you're eating alone and you're maybe Netflixing and chilling and throwing popcorn at your face. I think that was pretty much it.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, so cool study. Hopefully that's helped you guys. Definitely made me think of some crazy stuff for sure. And we will be back at some point to give you guys another coffee talk where we'll go through some more research and once again give you guys kind of the key information that you can actually apply day to day. So thanks for hanging out with us.